This is Madad. And then this is Tony Highway. He was one of the caretakers at the Wolf Watch Park in the UK. One day, when walking in a wildlife park, he found Madad and Kagosi. Tony realized that these two baby wolves were only 10 days old at the time of rescue, so he took them to Wolf Watch and started nurturing them. Through the years, they became loved wolves at Wolf Watch in the UK. There, they got to roam in acres of wilderness and drink fresh mountain water without worrying about being harmed. Madad, named Maddie by her caretakers, grew fond of both the people and the animals there. She became a proud mother of wolf pups. They had a lot of fun together. She lived to be 19 years old, which shows us just how well she was taken care of. Then, on October 30th, 2017, she passed away in the arms of the man who raised her from a little pup. Tony wrote a heartfelt tribute saying, "The volume of messages and expressions of sadness at her passing shows the depth of feeling and the extent to which she touched so many people's lives. I, along with so many others, will miss her greatly. Thank you for all your support, without which Wolf Watch would not exist." Next up, the Mackenzie Valley Wolf. The Mackenzie Valley Wolf is the largest wolf in the world. The only recorded wolf measured an astounding 175 pounds and was 7 feet long. The beast was trapped in Alaska and he was found in 1939. The wolf was about 36 inches tall and he dwarfed any other wolf of its kind. That's because on average, wolves weigh about 130 pounds, with females barely crossing the 100-pound mark. Now, we should mention that the wolf did have a full stomach when they found him, which really changes things. That's because a wolf, which is just eaten, can have an extra 20 pounds of weight thanks to its ability to eat so much. So it's possible that people in the 40s saw a wolf that was only 150 pounds. Wait, that's not better. Today, they freely roam throughout Alaska, the west of Canada, and the northwestern parts of the United States. They go by many names, some of which include the northwestern wolf or the Alaskan timber wolf. They're famous for hunting bison, but only the weak and the young in the herd. The Mackenzie Valley wolf uses stampeding to separate the young elks from the herd and then picks them off one by one. They're currently in no danger, but they are being hunted and trapped in Canada, where the largest population resides. Followed by the New Guinea Singing Dog. They get their name by smashing that like button, just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, they get their name from their ability to hold a tune to an exact key. Now, they might not be as good as Pavarotti, but opera singers still love them because they can hit all those high notes. However, don't let the word dog fool you. They're wild animals more akin to the wolf than do a domestic dog, and they have a different behavior and really don't get along with domestic dogs. That can be a challenge for people who don't know how to take care of a wild animal. They spend a few months trying to teach them to play along with other animals, but when it doesn't work out, they return them to the shelter. And now comes the Mexican wolf. The Mexican wolf is considered to be the rarest wolf in North America. The reason for that is simple. The livestock in the southwestern United States and Mexico suffered from the Mexican wolf. People began hunting them down in 1970, and by 1976, the Mexican wolf became an endangered species. They started a breeding wolf program in which both nations, the U.S. and Mexico, banded together to save the wolf from extinction. In 1998, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service released some Mexican wolves in Arizona and New Mexico, and now the population of the species is slowly starting to grow as the years pass. Currently, this subspecies of the gray wolf in North America has been growing in numbers. Their population in the U.S. has grown to 185 individuals when they last counted at the end of 2020. Biologists are hopeful that in the future, the population of this Mexican wolf will recover. Don't forget about the Alexander Archipelago wolf. The Alexander Archipelago is a small cluster of islands in southeastern Alaska. The archipelago stretches from the Dixon entrance to Yakutat Bay, and right there in the Tongass National Forest lives a population of Alexander Archipelago wolves that are black, scary-looking, and very small compared to other wolves. Their total population measures about 80 individuals, and about 30% of those are culled every year. However, the decline of their population is not just the active killing of the wolves, it's also the declining population of Sitka black-tailed deer, which is the preferred food source of the Alexander Archipelago wolf. If you ask us, this is one of the rarest and most beautiful black wolves in the world. And then we have the Himalayan wolf. They're found on the subcontinent of India and are a close relative of the Mongolian wolf. They're often referred to as the Tibetan wolf. Now, some might think that this golden white wolf only lives in the mountainous forests of the Himalayas, but the Himalayan wolf also lives in alpine regions and likes grasslands as well. It's when they come in contact with people where trouble arises. You see, while the Tibetan wolf likes to hunt down medium-sized mammals, their preferred meat is mutton, especially from the sheep of herded livestock. You'd be right in presuming the farmers don't like this and they try to defend their herd, but it's not as easy as it seems. The local government wants to protect the herd, but the distinctions between the Himalayan and the Mongolian wolf are taxonomically unclear. That's why it's hard for the government to protect them. What about the red wolf? Since we were on the subject of wolves that cause problems, we had to mention the red wolf. Here's why this wolf is so controversial. Some experts say that the red wolf is just a subspecies of the gray wolf, and some say that the Canis rufus is a separate species. More importantly, nowadays, the red wolf is a highly endangered wild species. Back in the 19th century, they were found all over the Midwestern United States, but in the 1900s, they were brought close to extinction because of hunting and habitat fragmentation. However, they were saved in the 1970s when the Endangered Species Act was introduced. Today, only small packs of red wolves can be seen roaming through North Carolina. Next comes the Eurasian wolf. The Eurasian wolf is one of the largest wolf species in the world. They have a brownish-black coat and were found throughout the European continent and West Asia. Their body weight of 86 pounds makes them big enough to hunt down reindeer, chamois, ibex, and wild goats. However, they also like to take down livestock, which is where they came into contact with humans through the Middle Ages. That's when the majority of their population was hunted, and currently there are less Eurasian wolves than there used to be. We also have the Hudson Bay Wolf. They look like Arctic wolves, but they're not Arctic wolves. They're mostly white, which is why many people mix them up in photos. One distinction that separates this beautiful white wolf, the Hudson Bay Wolf, from the Arctic wolf: if you look closely, you'll realize that the Hudson Bay Wolf has a flatter head compared to the Arctic wolf. Otherwise, they live in the Hudson Bay region in Manitoba, Canada. They like to hunt elk and caribou, which are easily accessible in this region. The bitterly cold climate has mostly kept the Hudson Bay Wolf away from human contact. Of course, there's the Arctic wolf. Found in Canada on the Queen Elizabeth Islands, this is arguably the most beautiful wolf in the world. These wolves live in the northernmost part of the country, and most of them are as white as snow. Some Arctic wolves have light gray fur, but don't let that fool you, because Arctic wolves are one of the rare species of wolf which has a completely white coloration. Because they live in one of the coldest regions in Canada humans rarely visit, this means that the wolf was never actively hunted by humans and has stayed away from human civilization. Only a few scientists have studied the Arctic wolves up close. Using snow as its disguise, this predator loves to hunt Arctic hares, Arctic foxes, musk oxen, and even caribou. Even though they might look similar to other white wolves we featured on this list, their medium size is what sets them apart from the rest. YouTube thinks you should watch this video next.